Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to do the complete analysis of previous year question paper of M.A. English entrance exam conducted by Telangana Common PG entrance test, and in this video we are going to do the detailed analysis of all the questions with answers, and this video is going to be helpful for the candidates who are going to appear for the M.A. English entrance exam under the notification Telangana Common PG Entrance Test 2025. So let's get started. And this is the previous year question paper. Here we got the first question. Choose the correctly spelled word. Here they ask the question on spelling, and here you need to find the correctly spelled word, the word with correct spelling. Here they gave options like feasible, feasible, facile and feasible, and here the correct option is second option, feasible, feasible. What does it mean by feasible? Feasible is an adjective which means practicable, probable or possible to do easily and conveniently. So the correct word here is feasible. So you need to have the correct spelling of the words, then only you will differentiate, then only you will find the correct answer. Let's move to second question. And here is the second question again on spelling. Choose the correctly spelled word. Here they gave you 4 options, and the correct answer here is gregarious. Third option, gregarious. Again it is an adjective. Gregarious means sociable or fond of company. Let's move to third question. Again they ask the question on correctly spelled word. Here we have 4 options, and the correct answer is embezzlement. Fourth option is the correct answer, embezzlement. And embezzlement is a noun which means theft. Theft or misappropriation of funds or money placed in one's trust. Yes, it means theft or misappropriation. Let's move to another question, fourth question. Again here we have the question on spelling. Choose the correctly spelled word. Here we have 4 options, and the correct answer here is second one, demurrage, which means demurrage is a noun and which means a charge or fee for delaying a vehicle beyond the allowed time for loading or unloading. Especially it was used to ships, related to loading and unloading of the material in the ships, but nowadays we are using it to vehicles. So the option here is demurrage, demurrage. Let's move to another question, fifth question. Again they ask the question on spelling. Choose the correctly spelled word. Here we have 4 options, and the correct answer is amelioration, AMELIORATION. Amelioration. Amelioration is nothing but improvement. Amelioration is a noun which means improvement. Now let's move to another question, sixth question. Again the question is on spelling. Choose the correctly spelled word. Here we have 4 options, and the correct answer is entrepreneur. The third option, entrepreneur, and the spelling is ENTREPRENEUR, which means a person who creates or who sets up a new business, and it is a noun, and the spelling is ENTREPRENEUR, entrepreneur. Let's move to another question, seventh question. Again the question is on spellings. Choose the correctly spelled word. Here we have 4 options, And the correct answer is first option, plebeian. Plebeian. And the spelling is Plebean. Plebeian is an adjective which means belonging to a low social class, and this is a word refers to common people to show the difference between rich people and the common people. Especially it is used to the lower class people. It is an adjective, plebeian. Plebean. Let's move to another question. Next question, 8th question. Choose the appropriate punctuation mark in the square bracket. Here they are asking you to put the punctuation mark in the square bracket. This question is on punctuation marks. They were debating the efficacy of the vaccine, colon, its absence of side effects, duration of its effectiveness, and the likes. Here the correct answer is colon. They were debating the efficacy of the vaccine, colon, its absence of side effects, duration of its effectiveness, and the likes. So here the question is on punctuation marks. Let's move to another question. Again the question is on punctuation marks. Choose the appropriate punctuation mark in the square bracket. She is a homemaker, brackets, a wonderful mother, a marvelous cook. Here we are going to use semicolon in the brackets. The appropriate punctuation mark here is semicolon. She is a homemaker, semicolon, a wonderful mother, a marvelous cook. Let's move to 10th question. Again the question is on choose the appropriate punctuation mark in this square bracket. No one knows exactly how many religions are there, brackets, nor does anyone know how many members are there in each movement. Here they gave you options like full stop, comma, semicolon, and colon. And the right answer which suits here is comma. No one knows exactly how many new religions are there, comma, nor does anyone know how many members are there in each movement. Let's move to 11th question. Here the question is on synonyms. Choose the closest synonym to the word in italics. Here you can find the word in italics and the word is altruism. So you can find the difference between normal words and the words in italics. It was the altruism. Altruism is in italics, so you need to find the synonym to the word altruism. It was the altruism of nations that sent relief supplies to the drought-ridden areas. Here you need to find you need to think about the meaning of altruism. If you know the meaning of altruism, then you can easily find the synonym for this word. And what does it mean by altruism? Altruism is selfless concern for the welfare of other beings. And the synonym to this word is philanthropy. Here they gave you the word richness, greatness, hypocrisy, and philanthropy. Philanthropy is nothing but helping other people without any self-interest, without showing interest towards their selfishness. The people who helps other people, who works for the welfare of other people are called as philanthropists or altruists. So the correct answer here is philanthropy. And the 12th question again is on synonyms. Choose the closest synonym to the word in italics. Here the word in italics is dilatory. Though dilatory in undertaking the assignment, she was quick in its execution. Here, if you don't know the answer, if you don't know the meaning to this word, let's look at the context of this word in the sentence. Though dilatory in undertaking the assignment, she was quick in its execution. She was slow when we think about the meaning of this, Dilatory means slow to act. Slow to act. So even though she was slow to act in undertaking the assignment, but she was quick in its execution, which is nothing but submission. So here the appropriate synonym to this word dilatory is delaying. Delaying is also nothing but slow to act. Let's move to another question, 13th question. Again, the question is on synonyms. Choose the closest synonym to the word in italics. The fact threw an odious light on the incident. Here, the word in italics is odious, and here we have 4 options: putrid, dirty, hateful, and open. So, here the word odious means, here you need to think about the meaning to the word odious. Odious is nothing but unpleasant or repulsive. So the correct option to the word odious is hateful. And these are synonyms. Odious and hateful are synonyms. And the other options are not going to suit as a synonyms to the word odious. Let's move to next question. Choose the closest antonym to the word in capitals. Yes. Just now we discussed about synonyms. Synonyms are nothing but the words which have similar meaning. The words which have similar meaning are called as synonyms, and the words which have opposite meaning are called as antonyms. Now we are going to see the question on antonyms. Choose the closest antonym to the word in capitals. Here they gave you the word in capitals, that is sluggish. SLUGGISH, and here they are asking you to find the antonym to this word. And let's discuss what does it mean by sluggish. Sluggish, again, it is related to slow moving and inactive. Sluggish is nothing but slow moving or inactive. And here we have various options like promptness, slothful, simplicity, and boldness. Slothful is synonymous to sluggish. Slothful is also slow moving and inactive. And the correct answer to sluggish is promptness. The correct suitable antonym to the word sluggish is promptness. Promptness is nothing but quick and punctual. Sluggish means unpleasant and repulsive. So promptness is the antonym to the word sluggish. Let's move to another question. Here we have the 15th question again on antonyms. Choose the closest antonym to the word in capitals. Here they gave you the word in capitals is reluctant. And here we are going to find the antonym to the word reluctant. Here they gave you 4 options: curious, unwilling, enthusiastic, and agreeable. And what does it mean by reluctant? Reluctant is nothing but unwilling. And here they are asking us to find antonym. So here they gave the answers like curious, unwilling, enthusiastic, and agreeable. If you look at the second option, unwilling, unwilling becomes the synonym to the word reluctant. But here they asked us to find antonym. So the word enthusiastic is antonym to the word reluctant. And what does it mean by enthusiastic? Enthusiastic is nothing but showing intense, eager enjoyment towards something, showing so much of interest towards something, and that is called enthusiastic. So the correct antonym to the word reluctant is enthusiastic. So the third option is correct. Let's move to another question. Again the question is on antonyms. Choose the closest anonym to the word in capitals, and the word is primitive. Primitive. Primitive means, let's look at the other options. Options are polite, naive, sophisticated, weak. Primitive means very basic, ancient, or unsophisticated. So here we got the answer. The antonym is sophisticated. Primitive is nothing but ancient and very basic, and sophisticated means advanced and having worldly experience and having knowledge about modern fashion and culture. So the antonym to the word primitive is sophisticated. So the correct answer is third option, sophisticated. Let's move to another question. And the next question, 17th question, is on choose the one that can be substituted for the given description. Here they are asking the question on one word substitutes. Here they gave you a sentence. You need to find the one word which can be substituted in the place of this whole sentence. Here the 17th question is on one word substitutes, and the question is a book containing summarized information on all branches of knowledge. Here they gave you options like dictionary, anthology, directory, and encyclopedia. Dictionary is nothing but contains the words of a language which contains meanings to those words. So it cannot be called as a book containing summarized information of all branches of knowledge. And anthology is nothing but a collection of poems or stories or poems. And directory is nothing but telephone directory. So it cannot be called as a book containing summarized information of all branches of knowledge. So the correct answer here is encyclopedia. Encyclopedia is nothing but a book which contains summarized information of all branches of knowledge. So the correct answer here is encyclopedia. Let's move to 18th question. The question is again on one word substitutes, and here the question is a person who eats too much. Okay, here we have options like glutton, reveler, sensualist, and omnivore. Omnivore is nothing but a person who eats anything, both non-veg and vegetarian, is called as omnivorous. And here we have the word glutton. Glutton is related to eating. The person who eats excessively, who eats too much, is called as glutton. Once you enter into M.A. English, you will be having a lesson, Dr. Faustus, written by Christopher Marlowe. In that, there is a scene. In that scene, they introduces 7 deadly sins, and gluttony is one among the 7 deadly sins in the Dr. Faustus story. Glutton is nothing but a person who eats too much, who eats excessively. It is one of the 7 deadly sins which we can see in the story of Dr. Faustus, written by Christopher Marlowe. Let's move towards another question. So the next question, 19th question, is choose the one that can be substituted for the given description. Here again we have the question on one word substitutes, and the question is one who feels at home in every country. Here they gave options like metropolitan, cosmopolitan, citizen, and denizen, and the correct option here is cosmopolitan. So cosmopolitan is nothing but international. For example, cosmopolitan plant, which means a plant which can be found in all the countries, in every countries. So the word cosmopolitan can be substituted under this description one who feels at home in every country. So the correct answer is cosmopolitan, second option. Let's move to next question, 20th question. Again the question is on one word substitutes. So here you need to find one answer which can be substituted under this description. A statement that is absolutely clear is unequivocal. So the correct answer here is unequivocal, a statement that is absolutely clear. Confused and ambiguous are similar meanings which gives the meaning unclear. So the correct answer here is unequivocal. A statement that is absolutely clear is called as unequivocal statement. So the correct answer is fourth option, unequivocal. Let's move to next question. And the next question is on comprehension. Read the following paragraph carefully. For each of the blanks in the paragraph, 4 options are given. Choose the option that best fills the blank. Here they gave you a paragraph, and in this paragraph they gave you blanks, and they gave you 4 options for each blank, and you need to find the correct option which fits this blank. And the paragraph is: economists, ethicists, business experts dash us that honesty dash the best policy. Here, without seeing the options, we can say that honesty is the best policy. But their evidence is vague. We hope to find data that would support their theories and thus perhaps encourage higher standards of business behavior. To our surprise, their pet theories failed to stand up. Treachery, we found dash pay. There is no compelling economic reason to tell the truth or keep one's word. Punishment dash the treacherous in the real world is neither swift nor sure. Honesty is, in fact, primarily a moral choice. Business people do tell themselves that in the long run they will do well by doing good, but there is little factual or logical basis for this conviction. Without values, without a basic preference of right over wrong, trust-based dash such delusion would crumble in the face of temptation. Most of us dash virtue because we want to believe in ourselves and because others respect and believe us. And due to this, we should be happy. We can be proud of a system in which people are honest because they want to be, not because they have to be. And this paragraph is based on the moral virtue, that is honesty. If you read this twice, you can find the answers to this blanks. Now we will see the questions on this paragraph. Choose the correct option that best fills the blank. Here they gave options like persuaded, persuade, persuading, and persuades. Let's go to the passage. Economists, ethicists, business experts. Here we have 4 options: persuaded us, persuade us, persuading us, and persuades us. Here 4th option is not going to be the correct option because they gave you economists, ethicists, and business experts. So we are going to use the option persuade because they are plural. That's why we use the word persuade. If there is only one word, economists, then we can use persuades. So the correct option which suits the first blank, that is 21st blank, is economists, ethicists, business experts persuade us that honesty. Now look at the 22nd question. Choose the option that best fills the blank. Here we have 4 options: has been, had been, was, and is. As we already discussed, honesty is the best policy. So the correct option to the 22nd blank is honesty is the best policy. So the right option, correct answer is, and the fourth option is correct. Let's move towards 23rd question. Choose the option that fills the blank. 23. Might, would, can, will. Let's look at the blank. Treachery we found can pay. So treachery is not going to, it is a sin. So that's why treachery can pay. So the correct option here is can. Let's move towards 24th question. Choose the option that best fills the blank 24. Here they gave us options for, in, at, on. Let's jump towards the paragraph and we'll see the 24th blank and which suits there. Punishment for the treacherous in real world. So here the correct preposition is for. Punishment for the treacherous in the real world is neither swift nor sure. So here they are discussing that treachery, if you do any mistake, there is the punishment neither be swift nor sure. So the punishment cannot be swift, that is speed, or cannot be sure. We cannot give assurance that the treacherous people will get punishment in this real world. So the correct option here is punishment for the treacherous in the real world. For. So the correct answer for the 24th question is for. Let's look at the 25th question. Choose the option that best fills the blank 25. And the options are in, for, on, through. And the correct answer here is on. Let's jump towards the paragraph. And without values, without a basic preference of right over wrong, trust based on such delusion would crumble in the face of temptation. Trust based on. So the correct answer here is on. Based on. So the correct answer for the 25th blank is on. Choose the option that best fills the blank 26. And the correct answer, we have 4 options: choose, chooses, have choose, have choose. And the correct answer here is choose. Let's look at the paragraph. And the 26th blank, most of us choose virtue because we want to believe in ourselves and because others respect and believe us. Yes, most of us choose virtue. Yes, all of us choose virtue over vice. Virtue is, the antonym for the word virtue is vice. Virtue is nothing but good habits or good behavior, good values, and vices are nothing but negative values. So the correct answer here is most of us choose virtue. So, and this is all about the paragraph. Here they asked 6 questions basing on this paragraph. Let's jump towards another question. 27th question. Which of the following sentence has an error? Here the question is on correction of the sentences, finding the errors in the sentences. Here they gave us 4 options and we need to find the error in the sentences. Since it was an unusually warmy day, the dog laid under the tree all day. Here we cannot find any error, so the option here is no error. Since it was an unusually warm day, the dog laid under the tree all day. Yes, the dog laid under the tree because that was a warm day. We find most of the dogs laying under the trees during the summer, right? So the correct answer here is no error. Let's move towards 28th question. Which of the following sentence has an error? Had I have been in my employer's position, I would have hung up the phone in the middle of the conversation. Here the error is in first option, had I have been in my employer's position. And the correct answer here is first option. The error we can find in the first sentence. And the correct sentence to be used here is, had I been in my employer's position. We need not to use have here. Had I been in my employer's position, I would have hung up the phone in the middle of the conversation. Here I have been is the error. So the correct answer, the error we can find in the first option. Let's move towards next question. 29th question. Which of the following sentence has an error? Here they gave us 4 options. More consumer goods as well as an abundance of leisure are attainable through automation. Here the error is in the third option, that is, are attainable through automation. So here they gave us 4 options. We need to find the error in these sentences. Let's move towards third question. Which of the following has an error? And the sentences are, Satish ran so fastly that he reached his destination in just 5 minutes. Here the error is in the first sentence, that is, Satish ran so fastly. Here the error is with the adverb fastly. Instead of fastly, the correct adverb would be fast. Satish ran so fast that he reached his destination in just 5 minutes. So the correct sentence is, Satish ran so fast that he reached his destination in just 5 minutes. So the answer is, Satish ran so fastly. The error is in the first sentence, that is, Satish ran so fastly. The error is with the adverb fastly. Let's move towards next question. 31 question. Which one of the following sentence has an error? Here the alternative approach was therefore considered and found to be far more attractive. Here we don't have any error in this in the 3 sentences. That's why the correct answer here is no error. The alternative approach was therefore considered and found to be far more attractive. So no error is the correct option. Let's move towards next question. Choose one of the following sentence has an error. This question is again on error identification, finding the error, correction of the sentences. The subject was blindfolded and a pencil has been placed in the left hand. Yes, by just seeing the sentences, we can say that the error is in the second statement, has been placed, and the correct option, the sentence with an error is the second sentence, has been placed, is incorrect, and the correct sentence would be, the subject was blindfolded and a pencil was placed in the left hand. Was placed. Instead of was placed, they use the incorrect helping verbs has been. So the error is in the second statement, a pencil has been placed. And the correct statement is, the subject was blindfolded and a pencil was placed in the left hand. Let's move towards next question. Which of the following sentence has an error? Let's look at the options. They have been awaiting the arrival of the rains since a few days now. And the correct answer with the error is since a few days now. And the error is in the third option, since a few days now. because here they have given a period of time, a few days now, but that's why it is incorrect. Here since is used for point of time, to specify point of time, and for is used to denote a period of time. Here they used since a few days now, so the correct answer, the sentence with error is since a few days now, and the correct statement can be they have been awaiting the arrival of the rains for a few days now. So the correct answer here is third option, since a few days now. Let's move towards next question. 34th question. Which of the following sentence has an error? Here the question is again on error identification, correction of the sentences. Here they gave us 4 options. These options would look more attractive if the capital gains tax were reduced considerably. These options would look more attractive if the capital gains tax were reduced considerably. And here we cannot find any error, and the correct option here is no error. These options would look more attractive if the capital gains tax were reduced considerably. So no error is the correct option in these sentences. Let's move towards next question, 35th question. Choose the correct sequence to produce correct sentence. Here the question is on ordering of the sentences. Here they give us jumbled sentences and we need to arrange them in the correct order. Here they gave us 4 options PQRS, and we need to arrange them in the order of, they gave us 4 options QRPS, RPSQ, PSQR and SRQP. So under P they gave us another's viewpoint, limited. Under Q, limited in mind and culture. Under R, who cannot understand. Under S is to that extent. And the correct answer here is RPSQ. A person who cannot understand another's viewpoint is to that extent limited in mind and culture. So the correct order here is RPSQ. Once again, let's look at the sentence in the correct order. A person who cannot understand another's viewpoint is to that extent limited in mind and culture. So the correct answer here is RPSQ. Let's move towards next question, 36th question. Choose the correct sequence to produce correct sentence. Again the question is on arranging the sentences in the correct order. Here they gave us jumbled sentences and we need to arrange them in the correct order. It was almost midnight and they gave us options sitting at the table when I arrived home, but I found them both waiting for me. And the correct sequence here is QRPS. It was almost midnight when I arrived home, but I found them both sitting at the table waiting for me. So the correct option here is QRPS. It was almost midnight when I arrived home, but I found them both sitting at the table waiting for me. And this is the correct order. Let's look at the correct order of the sentences once again. It was almost midnight when I arrived home, but I found them both sitting at the table waiting for me. So the correct answer here is QRPS. Let's move towards 37th question. The question is again on correct sequence of the sentences. Here they gave us jumbled sentences and 4 options. We need to find the answers. The prevention of disease, and the options are facing the authorities, was by far after the earthquake the most urgent problem. Here they gave us 4 options RPQS, QRSP, SPRQ and QSPR. So the correct answer here is QSPR. Let's look at the correct order of the sentence. The prevention of disease was by far after the earthquake of facing the authorities. Yes, wait. And the correct answer here is the prevention of disease was by far the most urgent problem facing the authorities after the earthquake. Yes, the correct sequence here is QSPR. Let's look at the correct sequence with the correct order. The prevention of disease was by far the most urgent problem facing the authorities after the earthquake. So the correct answer here is QSPR. Let's move towards next question. Read the passage and find out which of the four combinations correctly forms the sequence of sentences in the passage. Yes, here they gave us a passage, and here they gave us there was once a hardworking and poor but well contented farm worker. Here they gave us the sentences, and here they gave us another four sentences, PQRS and S6 statement 6. So we need to find the correct order of these statements, and the other options are: the farm worker buried the silver coins under the ground. He used to work all day in his farm and enjoy the gifts of nature. And R, the village serpent gave him a bag containing some silver coins to keep. His rich serpent took pity upon the farm worker. From the day the poor farm worker's happiness vanished. And here they gave us options: SQPR, QSRP, RQPS and QSRP. So the correct answer here is QSRP. Here the first statement S1 and S2 are going to be the first and last sentences of the passage, but we need to arrange the middle sentences in the passage. Those are PQRS, and the correct answer here is QSRP. So there was once a hardworking and poor but well contented farm worker, and the correct order is: he used to work all day in his farm and enjoying the gifts of nature. His rich serpent took pity upon the farm worker. The village serpent gave him a bag containing some silver coins to keep. The farm worker buried the silver coins under the ground. From that day, the poor farm worker's happiness vanished. So the correct answer here is QSRP. Let's move towards 39th question. Again, the question is on arrangement of the sentences. Here they gave us again 6 sentences. Here the first and sixth statement, S1 and S6, are going to be correct, but we need to arrange the middle sentences. Those are PQRS in the order. Let's look at the options first. Let's look at the anything you do that gives you some form of mental relaxation and peace will benefit your heart and body. In fact, never choose an activity just because it is good for you. By all means, do some relaxing exercises and even tire yourself to some extent perhaps. If you can combine this with enjoyment as a routine, then so much the better. You will soon get bored of it. But do not indulge in very hard exercises. Tune into the warning signals from your body. And the correct answer here is PSRQ. Let's look at the correct order of the sentences in this passage. Anything you do that gives you some form of mental relaxation and peace will benefit your heart and body. In fact, never choose an activity just because it is good for you. You will soon get bored of it. If you can combine this with enjoyment as a routine, then so much the better. By all means, do some relaxing exercises and even tire yourself to some extent perhaps. But do not indulge in very hard exercises. Tune into the warning signals from your body. So the correct order here is PSRQ. Let's move towards the next question. And the 40th question here is, again, the question is on arranging the sentences in a passage in the correct order. Statement 1 and statement 6 are going to be same and correct. We need to change the middle sentences, those are PQRS, in the correct order. According to recent research, a critical period for developing language skills is between the ages of 3 and 5.5 years. The read to child already has a large vocabulary and sense of grammar and sentence structure. Children who are read to in these years have a far better chance of reading well in school, indeed, of doing well in all their subjects. And the reason actually is quite simple. This correlation is far and away the highest yet found between home influences and school success. Her comprehension of language is therefore very high. Here the passage is about the children and language acquisition, and here the correct order is QSRP. Let's look at the correct order of the sentences. According to recent research, the critical period of developing language skills is between the ages of 3 and 5.5 years. Children who read to in these years have a far better chance of reading well in school, indeed, of doing well in all their subjects. This correlation is far and away the highest yet found between home influences and school success. And the reason actually is quite simple. The read to child already has a large vocabulary and a sense of grammar and sentence structure. Her comprehension of language is therefore very high. So the correct order of the sentences here is QSRP. So the correct answer here is QSRP. Let's move towards next question. Here the question is on figures of speech. In the line, the plowman homeward plods in weary way. The italicized part is best described by the term. Here the word weary way is transferred epithet. Here it is not catharsis, and it is not stream of consciousness, and it is not a metaphor, but the word in italics is weary way, and the answer here is transferred epithet. The plowman homeward plods in his weary way. Here weary way is a transferred epithet. So the correct option here is second one, that is transferred epithet. Let's move towards 42nd question. The term tragedy derives from a Greek word meaning. Yes. Here they are asking the meaning of the word tragedy. Tragedy is a word which is originated from the Greek word, and which means a goat song. Yes, tragedy, we can see different kinds of dramas, which different kinds of plays, and the different kinds are tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy. Yes, the combination of tragedy and comedy is tragicomedy. In your M.A. English, you are going to study all these things, the types of drama or the kinds of plays. So tragedy, the tragedy is a Greek word, tragedy derived from a Greek word which means a goat song. Let's move towards 43rd question. The repetition of vowel sounds in a line of poetry is referred to as. Yes, the repetition of vowel sounds in a line of poetry is referred to as. We have options like alliteration, iteration, assonance, and inflection. And the correct answer here is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in a line of poetry. And what does it mean by alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of same letters or same words in a line of poetry. Here particularly they are asking repetition of vowel sounds. So the correct answer is assonance. And the repetition of consonant sounds in a line of poetry is referred to as consonance. So the repetition of consonant sounds is called as consonance, and the repetition of vowel sounds is called as assonance. Let's move towards next question, 44 question. Which of the following is not true about kavva in Indian literature? Yes. The options are: it has not changed in its meaning from earlier times, and it is distinguished from Purana and Itihasa. It was later used by the court poets. It includes metaphor and simile. Here the first statement, it has not changed in its meaning from earlier times, is incorrect because the word kavya in Indian literature has been evolved from time to time. In ancient Indian literature, the term kavya is used to refer to the poetry and only literature, but over the time it is used to the courtly poetry, especially to the courtly poetry and to courtly literature. So the correct answer here is it has not changed in its meaning from earlier times. So the first option is correct. It has changed in its meaning from earlier times. Let's move towards next question. The critic who coined the term intertextuality was. Here they are asking the question on coining of the term intertextuality, and the options are Germaine Greer, Toril Moy, Julia Kristeva, and Susan Sontag. And the correct answer here is Julia Kristeva. Julia Kristeva coined and introduced the concept of intertextuality in her essay Word, Dialogue, and Novel. Julia Kristeva introduced the term intertextuality and introduced the concept of intertextuality in her 1966 essay Word, Dialogue, and Novel. So the correct answer here is Julia Kristeva. Julia Kristeva coined the term intertextuality in her 1966 essay Word, Dialogue, and Novel. Let's move towards next question. Which of the following is not true of the lyric? And the options are: it served to distinguish a certain type of literature from the narrative and the dramatic. Okay. And it quite frequently expresses the feelings or emotions of more than one person. Here, and it is incorrect because lyric is the expression of feelings or emotions of a single person, single poet, single lyricist. So the second option is incorrect. So the second option is correct. Second option is not true of the lyric, so it is the correct answer. And Let's look at other options. Among the Greeks, one of its earliest practitioners, it was a song set to music for the lyre. Yes, lyre was the musical instrument, and it in the Greek culture, the practitioners used to sing a song according to the rhythm of the musical instrument, that is lyre. So, the word lyric derived from the Greek word from the musical instrument lyre. And the fourth option, it is fairly short, often not exceeding 30 lines and very rarely reaching 50 or 60. Yes, most of the lyrics are below 50 or 60 lines. They often not exceeding 30 lines. They do not exceed 30 lines. So here, not true of the lyric is it quite frequently expresses the feelings or emotions of more than one person. So lyric is an expression of expressing the feelings or emotions of a single person. Let's move towards next question. Solipsism is, here they gave us four options, and the options are a kind of escapism inherent in weak-minded people as portrayed in some literary works. Yes, this is not solipsism. It is clearly a fantasy or daydreaming. A kind of escapism inherent in weak-minded people as portrayed in some literary works is called as fantasy or daydreaming. And next option, an expression of concern for social values in the writer of a satire. And here this line is related to the word social commentary or moral indignation. An expression of concern for social values in the writer of a satire is known as social commentary or moral indignation. So this is not the correct answer. A kind of dramatic monologue that expresses villainous thoughts and conspiracies. Here we can call it as a soliloquy. Villainous thoughts and conspiracies of a single person is called as in a dramatic it's a kind of dramatic monologue, so it is soliloquy. So it is not solipsism. And the fourth option, a deviation from conventional grammar, syntax and pronunciation. A solipsism is nothing but a deviation from conventional grammar, syntax and pronunciation. So the correct option here is fourth one. Let's move towards next question. Synecdoche refers to, yes, synecdoche refers to a part representing the whole. So the words which we use to represent the whole, then we call it as synecdoche. The correct option here is a part representing the whole. Here the remaining options are not correct. An instance of dramatic irony, a point of view in narration, an apparently unrelated stanza at the end. These are not related to the word synecdoche. Synecdoche means a part representing the whole. Let's move towards 49 question. The concept of touchstone was developed Matthew Arnold in. Yes, the concept of touchstone was developed by Matthew Arnold in his book The Study of Poetry. Yes, Matthew Arnold introduced the concept of touchstone method in his book The Study of Poetry. Yes, let's look at the 50th question. I.A. Richards introduced the terms tenor and vehicle in. Yes, these are the works, the options are the works or the books written by I.A. Richards. They are Practical Criticism, Basic Rules of Reason, Interpretation in Teaching, Philosophy of Rhetoric. So the correct answer here is Philosophy of Rhetoric. I.A. Richards is the critic. He introduced the terms tenor and vehicle in his book Philosophy of Rhetoric. So the correct answer here is fourth option, Philosophy of Rhetoric. Yes, this is all about the 50 questions. Let's look at the another remaining 50 questions. Yes, these are the remaining 50 questions. Yes, basing upon the response to this video, I am going to do the complete analysis of all these videos with answers. So stay tuned to my YouTube channel. This is all about the first 50 questions in this previous year question paper. Basing upon your response to this video, if I get more viewers and if more people like this video, I am going to make the remaining 50 questions with detailed analysis with answers. So it's all depends on the viewers. And all the best to the candidates who are going to appear for MA English entrance exam under the notification Telangana Common PG Entrance Test 2025. All the best for your preparation. This video is going to be very helpful. This video shows you the path how to read and how to prepare for MA English entrance exam under Telangana Common PG Entrance Test 2025. And this is all about the 50 previous year questions from the previous year question paper. And depending on the response to this video, I am going to make another video on another 50 questions, and I am going to make more videos related to Telangana Common PG Entrance Test 2025 MA English Entrance Exam. This is all about this video. For more interesting updates, for more latest updates on Telangana Common PG Entrance Test 2025 MA English Entrance Exam, visit my channel. If you like the content, click on the like button and share it to your friends who are in need of this information. For more interesting videos on Telangana Common PG Entrance Test MA English Entrance Examination 2025, visit my channel. Thank you for watching.